How's it going, everybody, and welcome to episode number 26 of the Master League featuring Ted Lasso QPR. This is the season review for year one, and we're going to wrap up the off season, or try to get most of it done in this episode, and cover some things going forward, going into season two. Now, before we do that, let's go just take a look at the stats for the season in the championship here. We'll take a look. Aston Villa and Derby County gained automatic promotion. If you were following this series, you found that out. And you can see we ended up at 16th, a 15, 10, and 21 record, 55 points. 65 goals for, which was the best in the league. Yep, we were the best scoring team in the championship. However, we were by far the worst defensive team in the championship. Very one-sided team, so don't know what to make of this team, to be honest. We're very up and down. As you can see, we could definitely score, but we definitely concede more. So not a very solid first season. We ended up at 16th place. I mean, it probably could have been a bit worse if we weren't scoring as many goals, but you know, it's still not. We're not out of the hot seat yet. But watching the last episode, Ted Lasso did get an extension on his contract, so it'll be another year of Ted Lasso here at QPR. But those are the rankings. Let's go ahead and look at the goal rankings real quick. Vidra from Derby County, leading goal scorer with 22. Just out of Poulter's reach there at the end, but you know, Poulter had a solid season. His goals came a lot in bunches. It seemed like he would be scoring hat tricks and braces pretty regularly, but then he wouldn't be playing for a few matches or go on a cold streak. Washington also had a really good year, scoring 13 goals, but he was more vital coming off the bench, I felt, than starting. But, you know, he contributed a lot as well. Any other guys in the top from us in the top 37? Doesn't look like those. Yeah, those two forwards really led the line for us this season. It'd be scary to think if you take off, 33 goals off those guys, we would be definitely in the relegation fight. All right, let's take a look at the assists. And a surprise here is Zolik wins the assist. And remember, he was hurt for 2 months of the season there, right after February, March, yeah, February through March there, he was out injured. So despite that, he still managed to nab top assist man. Yenny not far behind either with 9. So those guys were really pretty crucial to our attack, I would say. Who else made the list? Washington as a forward. Center forward and make an assist is kind of unheard of. And then it's Celia as well getting his name on there. So we were a very productive team, very unselfish team, but at the end of the day, it didn't matter. Let's take a look at individual titles. Player of the season goes to Richards from Aston Villa. Top scorer Vidra, Zola got the assist. And Steve Bruce is the best manager of the year. I guess he took over from Roberto Di Matteo, who was the manager at Aston Villa. Maybe Di Matteo made a move somewhere else, and Bruce took over and took Aston Villa back to the Premier League. And we'll take a look at the team of the tournament as well. Here's the team of the tournament. Vidra and Bodverson up front. We got Onigi from Wolves there in the middle with Westwood, and Zolik actually made the team of the year. I don't know. He might have made 1 or 2 team of the months, but he really wasn't. He was very unselfish. He was definitely contributed to a lot of goals. He was definitely our top man in the assist column. And you can see some other Wolves players. 4 Wolves players, 2 Villa players, 2 Derby County players, 2 Leeds players, and then the lone QPR player. Taking a look at the FA Cup, you can see the winners there were Man United as they took on Tottenham in the final. If you recall, we got knocked out in the first round, I believe. Yep, 3-2 there against our rivals Brentford early in the season. So definitely did not have a great FA Cup run to start the season. Take a look at goal rankings. Sane from Man City led the way. Assist total, Knockhart from Brighton Hove Albion, tied with Pablo Hernandez for Leeds, Erickson, and Yaya Torre. And Pogba was named Player of the Tournament, with Jose Mourinho getting the manager of the FA Cup, best manager of the FA Cup. So interesting to see Man United do so well. Let's take a look at the team of the tournament. Zlatan, Coutinho, Erickson, with Pogba, William, Sane, Klein, Nacho Vidal, Vertonghen, Smalling, and Lloris. Very potent side. All Premier League stars, obviously. But yeah, definitely be hoping for better results in the FA Cup next season. And there's a quick little overview once again. I think our rank did drop a little bit coming out of this season, but really just nothing to really show for it. Take a look at the player stats real quick. I'm just going to look at the overall records. You can see how everybody stacked up. Really not many too outstanding players. Everybody was either kind of average or just above or below, or a little below. Even Poulter was pretty average, 20 goals, even though he got 20 goals in 32 appearances. Very, very good click of goal scoring. You look at Zolik, 12 assists in 36 games. Yeni got 9 and 31, so pretty good. I think our player that played the most was Washington, who got 14 goals and 7 assists, so he did actually pretty well, even though his rating didn't show. One that's probably was best rated player was Zolik for his contribution, but Mbula was up there too. 15 matches, 5 goals and an assist. He's been kind of on fire since we signed him on loan this winter, so I'm really looking forward to seeing where he goes and develops. But there you go. The only player we really didn't use was Lumley. I think everyone else got at least some minutes, but not too bad. Miguel, I would say just uninspiring from him, along with Smithies. Smithies was about average, but you know, Miguel was supposed to be our new number one, and he really didn't show us anything. Now let's get down to business a little bit here. We're going to do some house cleaning business. We're going to kind of go through and show you what the plans are for Ted Lasso going forward. We do have a lot of guys' contracts going up, expiring at the end of year 2. But for year number 1, we got a new He's been our best player, still growing. You can see he had a dramatic growth this year, and he's looking like he's going to top out at 80 easily. So that's good to see. So hopefully we can keep him up there. Maybe he can get another little bit of growth here before he peaks out. The good news about Cocker is we do not have to worry about his contract. Redmond, who's grown a little bit as well. He's been hurt a good chunk of this season we've had him, so or either that or he just hasn't been as productive as I hoped, but he's still gotten a little bit of growth, so that's always encourageable. We did re-sign him to a contract last winter, 1.77 million. Going to be a little bit of an increase, but he's still in an affordable range. Unfortunately, the deal's only good for another year. I think after the end of year 3, his contract gets up again. So I don't know if we'll be able to keep him on board for much longer, but for now he's locked up for at least another season, guaranteed. So we'll just see where we go with that. Zolik, definitely kind of just stayed for the course. He dropped a little bit during the season, but not much. He climbed his way back up. He's going to be interesting. We're going to go into negotiations with him. His contract's up in August. He is a peak before. Yeah, he's topped out right now. He's peaked out. So he's going to be wanting a max deal. 25 years old. We're going to have to see what he wants coming back, and whether hopefully we can keep him, because he's been an integral part of Ted Lasso's offense. Chiravella, he's good to go. He got a dramatic growth as well this season, and he's looking to keep on growing. So he's at 75 right now. Grew quite a bit from when we got him. Got him as like a 72 maybe. So he grew quite nicely. Hoping to continue to see good things out of Chiravella. And Nuha, the center back, who's been kind of the stalwart of this team, is getting sold. He just got an offer recently for him. You can see 12.8 million from I don't know what that made-up site is, but they're going to take him off our hands for us. He is declining. He's lost a bit of overall. You can see he started like a 76, and he's down to a 75, and he's on the decline, even though he's a star player. He really didn't. Towards the end of the season, after he got his marking stats, he was better, but after that, he just seemed to draw. He just seemed to be a yellow card magnet and get suspended a lot, so... I like to keep him for the sake of keeping him, but we've got other center backs that need starting time next season. Yanni, again, had a pretty productive year. He is peaking right now. He's still going to look to be pretty good in the future, so he's going to want a max deal. His contract's coming up. And this one hurt me a little bit, but we had to make the deal. Van de Boomen is getting sold to Italy. Not even after we got him. We picked him up last winter, if you recall, and just kind of wanting to beef up the midfield players a little bit. The tall Dutchman actually scored a brace in the very last match he played for QPR, but the deal is already done. It was just a deal. It was too much good to pass up on. We weren't looking to re-sign him for a while, but Capri really wanted him, so I was happy to take that deal. Sandro... he's currently at this point our highest paid player until Redmond's new contract kicks in. He is declining. You can see he's gonna start dipping really soon. So the good news with that, well, actually right now he's still at peak. So right now he's gonna want a max deal, but he's gonna dip soon. So we could maybe hold on to him for a little longer once he starts to decline and get a little cheaper deal. But for now he's gonna want max money. We'll see what the reply is there. Hall, he's been kind of relegated to the bench, but since Anuha's going, we can take him off the transfer list. I really didn't want to let him go this season. He's making first team money, and he's gonna be in the first team role unless we find a suitable replacement. But he's got the leader role, so he should fit in quite nicely. I was actually looking too. He was okay in the center back role, but I think we just need, consistent play out the back. Borisuk's another one that's leaving. Again, Empoli gave us a $5.7 million deal. It was a good contract. He's going to make more money there than he was here. He's at peak right now, so he wanted max money from us. I wasn't looking to get rid of him, but it just happened. That's the way it goes sometimes when these deals come through. You just can't say no when the wage and the transfer fee they offer is higher than what he's making. So Borisuk, he was okay. He filled in nicely off the bench, but he wasn't ever going to be a starter with Sandro ahead of him. Poulter, luckily we have not received an offer from Poulter. You see, he really hasn't grown. He's kind of peaked out at the moment. He's at peak right now, so he might get a little bump in growth here soon. But he's looking pretty good, I would say. We'll see if anybody... No one's sniffing around for him, which is kind of surprised. I figured there'd be more people wanting to get a 20-goal scorer on their side, but he's staying put. Washington, we extended his contract last winter. And a good bit of business to lock him up early. He's still on a really friendly contract for us, even when on his new contract tips over. Definitely going to be a serviceable player off the bench, as you've seen this season. And he's still growing quite nicely. Pinillos was one of our summer pickups. His contract's up. We're going to renegotiate, even though I'm very on the fence with Pinillos. He started, we didn't really give him a fair shake just when he came aboard. Then towards the end of the season, I started giving him more playing time, but he really didn't impress me at left back as much as some of the other left backs we have. Did get the defensive fullback trait, but I don't know. Pinillos needs to show me more. I wouldn't be heartbroken if he doesn't re-sign. Smithy's actually had a good season of growth, even though he was kind of relegated mid-season. But he earned his spot back. He's locked up for quite a long time, several years yet. So we're on a pretty friendly deal with him. Excuse me. So I'd be happy if I keep him on the bench and maybe get a better keeper, but we'll see. Bidwell, again, he underperformed this season. Yeah, he's a little below expectation, but then again, he was kind of the odd man out on the fullback scale. We played him a little bit more than we did towards the end of the season, but yeah, definitely his performance definitely hurt a little bit. Again, not looking to re-sign him just yet. Lynch, the old-timer center back, you can see he declined as well. Didn't get a lot of playing time, but yeah, he's on the decline, but no need to worry about him, re-signing him just yet. Perch, yeah, he's in a free-fall decline, but his contract's not up yet. We definitely, I think right back's going to be one of the places we look to perform, because he probably played almost every match that he could. There's hardly any time where he wasn't starting on the right side. We just need a little bit better quality player there instead of a declining player. Robinson, he's kind of does it all in the fullback spot, and he can play wing as well. Still developing. He's grown quite nicely towards the end of the season. But he can kind of fill a utility role for us. Very nicely done for him. Celia, he's steady. He's on a steady decline. Nothing too crazy. Not looking to re-sign him just yet. Petrasio, youngster who's out on loan. You can see the growth. Really didn't grow too much while out on loan. A little bit disappointing. We'll see if he comes back. I can't remember if he has a loan-to-buy deal on him as well. Some of my loan players do, and some of them don't. I think he does have a loan-to-buy on him. Gladwin, another player that's on peak form, actually performed better than anticipated this season, so that's always nice to see. And he's still looking to grow some more, so he really wasn't a factor. He's a very, we had so many midfielders he had a hard time playing, but I think when he got on there, he wasn't too bad. He was a good player off the bench, so we're keeping around, but yeah, he's gonna want max money. So hopefully we can find a good deal there. You can see Shapiro had a loan offer that was withdrawn because the loan to buy offer was not good enough. He played a little bit, looked impressive, but he's the number 3 striker for us right now. We really don't have a lot of strikers, but luckily none of our strikers were hurt this season. And he's looked pretty solid. He's getting some growth. He started pretty low, but looks like he climbed back to about even. And 20-year-old Irishman looking like a player for the future. Crowley, another player on loan. He actually got really good growth on loan. Look at that. He jumped well above expectations for the 20-year-old from France. I think that's where he's at right now. I think he's coming back because I didn't attach that. That was a deadline day deal that I made, and so I wasn't able to get the ad to buy in his deal, so he may be coming back. Option to buy is in place. Yeah, so it does say on there. Nice. So Petrasio Peruli come back. Paul is the one who had an option to buy. 21-year-old Northern Irishman. So I think we sold him in the winter. He's got a little growth, but not a whole lot. Hopefully he can do better because he's gonna lose ground to Peruli real quick. Kake, pretty bang on average growth. He's trended a little bit upward. I think he played one match, but kind of looking to loan him out to maybe get some more experience. And Lumley, we just signed this deal not too long ago. He actually grew a little bit, so that's nice. But he's going to go to Andrews on loan, and there is a loan to buy option on him as well. But that is how the team looks currently. You can see we've got a few players leaving, so we're gonna Ted's gonna be busy this off season with some holes to fill. I've had to think about this because I forgot that this happens at the end of the season as well. Now remember we picked Luongo at the start of the season, who I eventually had to cut, so I was a little disappointed that happened, but this one was tough because we've had various guys at various times look to lead the line. But, some might argue give it to Poulter since he had 20 goals in a season. I would say, yeah, but I mean, Washington had 13 goals and 7 assists. I'd argue he was more productive as far as, producing chances, scoring and assisting than Poulter was. But I'm going to give it to this man. I'm going to give it to the Polish hammer, Zolik. Reason being, he's just been a great attacking midfield player. It's a little bit unfortunate he's had to take some nickels this season, but despite that, he still made the team of the year. So I think it's hard for us not to notice that Zolik's been a quality player for us all season, and he's wanting that big boy contract coming up. So hopefully he'll stick around for us. But Zolik, you've been named our favorite player for the season. Oh, after assisting the club's performance this past season, he received the following additional funds. Doesn't look like the club was too happy with the performance this season. The budget hasn't been increased very much. Well, so we increased our transfer budget by $1 million and our salary. I mean, that's not bad. I mean, I wasn't expecting them to break the bank for us. I was expecting, I was kind of almost expecting to get fired because our performance was so poor. Oh, but here he is, boys. The championship player of the year, or in the team of the year. He's Ted Lasso's favorite player of 2017. After assessing the club's performance this past season, he received the following additional funds. Alright, so here's a breakdown of the account balance. We made a 41% profit. The bean counters couldn't be happier. So yeah, I wanted to make sure that with my budget in place that we were pretty fiscally responsible. And 41% increase compared to last season is always a good news for the board. The salary, my salary budget's $8 million. We've been given an additional $8 million. So got a lot to play with there, boys. We may be able to sign some players with that money. Interesting. So we've definitely pocketed some change here since our fiscal responsible manager of Ted Lasso, keeping the money tight, has got him a big fat payday check for next season. So maybe we can definitely improve this team a lot more than I thought. There's the swap, Burnley, West Brom coming down, Hull City with Aston Villa, Derby County, and Newcastle going up. Now we're underway. Some new players have joined the youth team. Hopefully these new players are local and I can sign them and then they'll have the funky names. Definitely a whole look to sign some youth players. Perhuli, loan term has ended, returned to the club. Paul's come back. Petrasio's returned. So I think all our loan players came back. Yeah, because they didn't buy Paul, so that's fine. Newha's gone, Borisuk's gone, Van de Boomen gone. We sent Miguel back. So boys, that's season 1 in a nutshell. All right, boys, we're back. I had to stop my simulation of the offseason for a little bit here while I recrunch some numbers to figure out the restructuring of my team for next season. And the good news is, because of the money we save, we get the profit the team made over last season, we were able to get over $9 million additional funds to our total for our player budget. Absolutely huge. What this means is my former structure of my team is going to get overhauled this season. We've got a lot of spots we need to fill, and we've got a lot of big name players that we can sign. So there's going to be a lot going on here as we're simulating the rest of the season from here to the start of the season. We've got a lot of holes to fill. We're probably going to be looking to get a lot of new first-team players into the side, and then just kind of renegotiating some contracts for some of the players I want to keep, and also bringing on some youth players because it's been a year. It should hopefully we've cycled through most of the just the bland, generic one-word named players in the youth academy. So we'll see who we can snag up there. All right, boys, we're back. Did a little editing there. Went through the entire month of July and into August to start year 2 here, and we've made a bunch of signings, but also some other news has come afoot. And it comes in the form of a national team. And you're reading that right, boys. Ted Lasso is now the manager of the United States national team. The offer came right at the beginning of August, and along with a bunch of other teams from, I think Belgium was one, which was one up there in Sweden, Algeria were other ones as well. But I decided to pick the United States because I had to, because they're like, you want to coach the U.S.? I'm like, yep. So Ted Lasso is going to start his new foray as manager of the United States national team. And the good news is they've already qualified for the World Cup. And so next summer, when the World Cup starts in the game, we'll be able to play in it as the manager of the United States. So interesting stuff here for Ted Lasso, as Jurgen Klinsmann's been fired after qualifying his team into the World Cup. Anyway, we're back into it now let's talk about what's been going on, who we signed and who we got coming in the future. And due to our saving our money in year one, we managed to increase our player budget by $9 million thanks to investments made by the board. So that really opened the door for us to really open up the squad and add some more crucial, high-quality players. We're going to start right at the top here. We signed Brozovic from Inter Milan. This was a big splash cash deal, and there's a few other players that was going after as well, but he just kind of fit the bill of what we needed. A very dominant midfielder. I think he's going to be kind of our new attacking midfielder going forward. But yeah, I know he's getting a lot of talk in this transfer window as we speak. But QPR was able to snag him. Also, a bit of business we got is a new set of fullbacks. Starting at right back, we got a major upgrade in Sabali here. He's from Bordeaux, I believe. Very pacey, young French fullback. And you see we're going to have a bit of a theme with the French players. We also snagged a second player from Inter Milan, and it was Minguet here. Or I can't say his name properly. Minguet from Belgium. 20-year-old left back, so a major upgrade again. We've really upgraded the defense and the back line as well. Also, we went after our goalkeeper. There was a lot of good goalkeepers I was getting reports back on. We ended up settling on Baumann simply because he was about the only one we could get a deal sorted out. But a very solid keeper. He has much solid stats, even though he's kind of about at his peak now. But nonetheless, it's going to be hopefully he can get the job done. Bamford, you can see we haven't signed him yet. We've got a deal in place, but I need to make a room here because he's on the same level as Poulter and Washington, but I can't have 3 of these guys. I only can have 2, so we're going to see maybe Poulter or Washington go. I think for the long term it'd be better to get Poulter out, but I don't know. This deal's still up in the air. We'll see, but I'm not sure. Another deal that we're just about ready to go through is youth signing. We signed about 4 youth players right as we speak, and maybe sign a few more if we got room. But we're going to start with this guy, Pinar from South Africa. I think he just generated it last winter, but he's still on our youth academy. 16 years old, left midfielder, which we don't have any. But he's going to slot in the rotation. Good dribbling, good power. Looks to be a solid player for us. He'll get some playing time, I'm sure, off the bench. Another player we signed, it's a Frenchman, and you see we've gotten another one. This was Mathis, the DMF. He's pretty much the Borussia replacement. Again, just adding depth in our rotation with young players. So I expect these guys to really bust out of the seams once they start getting some training in them. One youth player we have already signed is Zaccarado from Italy. Again, another youth prospect. We got him just to fill a role in the second team and off the bench. Could be a really good player for us going forward, maybe he'll get some starting minutes as well. And then we needed another goalkeeper because we actually sold Smithies this window. I wasn't planning on selling Smithies, but it was just a deal I couldn't say no to. And I've had my eye on this French keeper that was generated in the academy, Populin here. He's actually pretty decent, 67. He's better than Lumley, who was going to be our backup, but he's out on loan right now. And you know, I just look at him and I'm like, yep, that's the player for us. But I'm kind of happy because I kind of want to make him grow a little bit, and he could possibly be a nice number 1 in the future. But that's how the signings Ted Lasso's made. We splashed quite a bit of cash. I think we had our salary's still quite good. We can still sign plenty more players, but we are running a little bit out of space, and we just don't have the money to bring in any more transfers at the moment. We could bring in maybe 1 or 2 more, but I'm really looking just to fill the squad in with these young players, just to pad the depth. I really don't think we're going to get a big name signing that's going to make any impact going forward. And we'll just take a quick look at how the team kind of shapes up at the moment. You can see it's definitely a new look for the most part. Only a few players really keeping their spots where they were. You know, Washington Poulter still up top. That Brozovic is going to sit in an attacking midfielder role quite nicely. Zolik and Redmond are going to be the wingers. That is going to bump Yenny down to the bench, which in the long term is probably going to be the best place for him. I'd rather have him coming off the bench, being subbed on for either Zolik or Redmond. Sandro's still in there. He's getting a big money deal as well. We renewed a bunch of contracts during the offseason. That's where we spent most of our time. Sandro gets a new deal. Redmond's has already got his. Zolik got it. We got a new deal settled on him. Yenny, Danny Pinellos, and Zacharou and Poplin came in with just 1-year deals, so I had to re-up their deals to Washington. We already did last season. Gladwin and Bahambula. The board really wanted me to re-sign Bahambula, even though he just signed him over the summer from the loan deal, but they said no, we need to lock him up long term. So we were able to lock him up long term. So we got a few deals in there that are going to last quite a while, so I'm pretty pleased with the direction we're going. Now it's just a matter of, can we sort out this defensive problems we've got. We've got new fullbacks in there, and that's definitely going to help. Nuhan's a bit of a blow, but he was declining, so hopefully Hall's going to be the solution in the short term. We still need to get more depth at the fullback role. Like I said, we're shopping around Poulter and Washington at the moment, seeing if there's any offers. I'd really like to keep at least one of them. If I could sell one of them, great, and then maybe I could bring in that one Burnley player. But also, we're selling some left backs. I think Bidwell and Robertson are also on the transfer block. I can't keep these players anymore. I need to make room. I've got too many left backs now with the addition of the Belgian on the left side. So I've got 4 left backs, so I need to get rid of some just to make more room and maybe get a young developing left back in the reserves. So that's how the team's looking at the moment, guys. Let me know what you think. Were Ted's moves a bit too aggressive? I think we really splashed the cash this window. If I take a look at the account balance, yeah, we spent 37, almost 38 million of our transfer budget this window. You can see just Samin was 15 million, Bauman was about 10 million, Brozovic was 11 million, so we definitely spent some cash there. Got some players out on loan, promoted some players. Smithies, we got about 3 million out, which is pretty good, and then the Minue signing. So yeah, we're definitely splashing the cash this window, and I think rightfully so. This team needs more depth, and with the opening up of the budget purse a little bit for this year too, we could definitely upgrade a lot of key positions, and we could be a little bit better, hopefully, defensively going forward. And with that being said, we're going to wrap up this episode, this off-season episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully year number 2 will be even more exciting for us. We'll go through and break down how we're looking for the league next season and just kind of get winded up and hopefully get some gameplay going. I may change the format of my gameplay a little bit. Instead of playing all the matches, I'll probably simulate matches here and there just to break up the monotony. Also, we have to worry about the national team
games, so we're gonna mix those in as well. So we'll see how that goes going forward. Let me know what you guys thought. If you have any suggestions about how would you like to be formatted, because I kind of want to speed up Season 2. I don't want to play every match. It will take me too long to get through all of it before PES 18 comes out. But, you know, I kind of want to I'm kind of interested in how year 2 goes. I'm still tweaking tactics and stuff to get that best gameplay scenario. We're getting there. With the gameplay mod I have installed, it's helping. And, yeah, like I said, I'm curious to see what you guys think of the off-season haul for Ted Lasso. Anyway, it's been a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to your number 2, guys. So hope you stick around and tune in for more. And I will see you guys next time.